stand up and give a standing ovation. Running short of time, I just want to say this. Brian really is an exceptional businessman, speaker, coach. I've gotten to know and love him. He really is quite an exceptional guy. And I think you'll find the same thing about Colm. Colm, would you mind when I just sort things out to hold the floor?
Of course, yeah. So, a very good evening. How are you, Brian? Well done.
So, would you mind just introducing yourself?
What do you think? The main man? Well done, Brian. Last night as well. Who was there last night as well? So Brian and I are a bit of a double act. Peers are available for weddings and bar mitzvahs. The price is right. So look, Brian, well done, was great. And Brian said something really interesting. In fact, the similarities in our stories were both failures. Right? That's my story too. Both of us have had business failures, which is probably why we're standing here tonight. And there was also a perfect storm in my story. In a second. So it's huge amount of similarities in our journeys. And when you fail early. That's my advice. When you fail, you're going to fail. When you fail early and learn from it and go again. Does anybody here play golf? I don't. Any golfers in the room? Do you understand the concept of a hole-in-one and how rare that is? So why do entrepreneurs think they've got the next big thing, it's their first ever idea, and they're going to knock it out of the park and create a hole-in-one? It's not going to happen. Let's be honest. So get into business, try something, fail, and fail early. And I think I'm hoping to use my own flicker if that's okay, because I'm watching the challenges with the game. Presentation. So we're going to fly through some stuff if that's okay. There we go. Oh, good stuff. Colm O Brien is the name. And turn to your neighbour and say, you can be my teacher. Turn to your neighbour and say, you can be my teacher. Don't be laughing. Turn to your neighbour and say, you can be my teacher. I mean it this time. Turn to your other neighbour. Go inside. Yeah. We have no idea who we're going to learn from, but all of us in this room can teach somebody something. So we're going to fly through this. I've made a story so far. I wrote a book called Feeding Johnny about my journey. And this is the story so far, real quick. Some housekeeping. We're going to fly through this. It's not about me. In fact, listening to Brian, really interesting, because he was saying, I'm going to tell you my story, but you need to think about how this is affecting you. It's exactly the same for me. I'm going to tell you my story, but I really want you to ask yourself, what does this mean for me? Have I gone through something like this? Am I going through something like this? Or might I go through something like this? 3 parts, carambola, which is what I call my day job, early influences, and the 3 most important lessons. I'm going to fly through if that's okay, because I really want to get to the 3 most important lessons. So you will be really sort of rushing through this. Carambola, 5-star school lunches, that's my company. Today, how the business works. The title of the book is Feeding Johnny. We say we feed Johnny, and we produce individual bagged lunches like that. We've got kids in school. You know how challenging it can be producing lunches from every day. When we do that several thousand times a day. The lunch bag has the child's name and whatnot on it. 40 million is a big number, but it's the number of lunches we've successfully produced and delivered since we started 16 years ago. So we sort of know what we're doing. Business started small, every business does. Your business is going to start small, it can grow. Brian's business started small, it grew. My business started small and it grew. Google started small and it grew. Ryanair started small and it grew. Okay? So that's our business back in the day, that's our business today, that's our fleet. What is a carambola? Anybody know what's a carambola? No? It's a starfruit. Now you know something coming from that man event something. The carambola is a starfruit. Huge believer in trademarks, so I created a trademark. Pink and blue, dual stars, white, pink and blue. Thank you very much indeed, boys and girls. Yeah? The brand has grown over the years, and I went back to sort of gold stars. I really wanted to know that gold star you get for being good in school. Some you do. Some trademarks, please. What's that trademark there? What's that trademark there? What's that trademark there? Global domination starts selling out. Okay, early influences, some ideas that influenced me over the years. Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Do you know Robert Kiyosaki? Did you read the book? You need to read the book, okay? Man in the Ladder, I'm going to tell you a story about that. And Wayne Gretzky, Hall of Famer, ice hockey player. We are flying through this, but there's lots to get through. So the cash flow quadrant, probably the book that most influenced my journey. Okay? Talks about the 4 players in the world of business. E stands for employee. By the way, I can share the notes afterwards or the slides afterwards if anybody wants them, because I'm going to fly through this. Okay, yeah? E stands for employee. S stands for self-employed, B stands for business owner, and I stands for investor. They're the 4 players. They're not mutually exclusive. I can be an employee of McDonald's and dabble in stocks and shares. That makes sense? I can be an employee of McDonald's, then as an investor, dabble in stocks and shares, and have a rental apartment and be self-employed as a DJ. Okay, they're not mutually exclusive. The difference, this is really interesting, the difference on this side of the quadrant, employees and self-employed trade their time for money. Do the job, get paid. Work for an hour, get paid. Don't do the job, don't get paid. Don't work for the hour, don't get paid. On the other side of the quadrant, business owners and investors leverage time and money. Wish. I'm not in the slides.
No.
Alright, so a window cleaner, for example. There aren't many window cleaners in Dublin making money as we speak. It's dark and it's wet. Is that fair enough, yeah? On the other side of the quadrant, we mentioned Michael O'Leary. Michael O'Leary and Richard Branson, 2 quintessential business owners. Is it fair to say that whether O'Leary went to the office today or not, he got paid? Did the baggage handler who called in sick today get paid? You get the picture? One side trades time for money, the other builds a system that continues to produce. And of course, Warren Buffett is a quintessential investor. I'm not going to go into that tonight. My dad was an employee for many years. I was an employee because nurture versus nature. My dad was an employee. His dad was an employee. What did I know to do? Became an employee. We've got a budding entrepreneur here. Why? It's not really a coincidence in my opinion. So I became an employee, became self-employed when I began to study this stuff and learning the skills of becoming a business owner. And this is where I want to spend my dotage, in business and working with other business owners. The man on the ladder. I'm studying this stuff, the Kiyosaki principles. This was back when I used to manage Beauty's Cafe in Grafton Street. You know that place? I was the general manager there. And I was studying this stuff. I used to listen to business and personal development tapes. Some of you remember those? You can Google it later. On the Walkman, Google that later too. And anyway, this is a true story. I got off the train, used to live in Selvidge, got off the train at Houston, got a bus, no Lewis, up to O'Connell Bridge. And there was a man on a ladder watching windows, right? And I thought to myself, and there was a young fellow holding the ladder steady, and I made a judgment, father and son, don't know whether right or wrong, I said, you know, self-employed father and son team. And I asked myself, because of the principles I was learning, what might that look like if they looked at their business through the eyes of being window cleaning business owners as opposed to window cleaners? This is what I came up with. If he owned a window cleaning business, I'm stepping out of the light because I want you to see the slides, he might train the young fella to wash the windows, get another young fella to hold the ladder steady, go get a second ladder and repeat the process, one from the top and the bottom, third ladder, repeat the process, from the top and the bottom, fourth ladder, repeat the process. You get that? That slide there is gold. McDonald's is that slide. Johnny's Burger Joint in the corner is the other one. Yeah? Starbucks is that slide. Pedro's Cafe is the other. Okay. It's always the same product or service. Always. It's just looked at differently. Okay? So let's look at the maths. Let's say he charges €100 to wash windows. Okay? He pockets the €100, gives the young fella 25 quid. If he owned a window cleaning business and he still charges €100, he's got 4 teams out there. What's it look like? He hires 4 crews, pays them 75 quid each. What's he left with? He charges €400, he pays out €300, he's left with €100. The same money he would have got for washing windows, except he wasn't on the ladder. Get that, Jeff? That's gold dust. Okay, Wayne Gretzky. You heard of Wayne Gretzky? Hall of Famer, ice hockey player. You don't become Hall of Famer unless you're top of your game. He was asked how to become top of your game, and he said, I skate to where the puck is going to be, not to where it has been. We don't have time to get into that, but in terms of the business that you've got in your head, don't be chasing the market that exists now. Try and project yourself out into the future, see what's coming down the track, and position yourself for the market to get to you. Rookies chase the puck, the professionals wait for the puck to get to them. Okay? Second Gretzkyism that I love is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You don't make that phone call, what's the response? What's the response? No. You do make the phone call, what's the response? Happy days. Which is better? Which is better? Make the phone call. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Okay? So the 3 most important lessons, we might make this, right? Complete the following sentence as a group. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose.
Learn.
Star people. Hands up, who was going to say or did say lose? And who said learn? Ian, alright, yeah? Help you feeding Johnny? I'll sign it later for eBay. Alright, sometimes we win, sometimes we learn. Professionals never lose. Did you know that? Professionals never lose. Think of a football team, think of Beyonce, think of U2. It doesn't go well on the day or the night. They don't suck their thumb, go home to Mammy's arms and throw it in the towel. Right? They actually get back on the horse and go again. They watch the video, they go back through it play by play to see what didn't work, and they fix it. Sometimes I win and sometimes I learn. It's the professional's playbook. Hasn't been a simple climb. Several business ideas have failed so far. There's me falling off a few ladders. Why do I say so far? You're not finished. Thank you very much indeed. I'm not finished. I'm going to keep trying stuff. And I guarantee if I try stuff, I'll try it. Wayne Gretzky, take a shot. Is it going to work? We don't know. Okay, yeah. Several business ideas have failed so far. A perfect storm. Here we are, Brian. Certainly swap notes, right? But here's my perfect storm. I told you my dog used to manage views in Grafton Street. Moved to Limerick in 1998. Anybody from Limerick?
Oh, no,
We don't know he's not from Limerick? Okay. Anyway, moved to Limerick in 1998 and took on the Beauties franchise there, and it failed. This is my business failure story. Not quite as dramatic as Barclay and Paddy over here, but not, you know, it was spectacular enough in my terms, okay? And the perfect storm that happened was where in 9/11 came into it. First of all, there was the market changed around the turn of the century. We're back to the millennial effect, right? The millennials wanted something different than Beauties. Remember Beauties? Yeah? The type of stuff like they had bacon, egg, sausage. You know, there were 2 coffees in Ireland, black or white. And Beauties was expert, right? And then the millennials wanted cappuccinos and wraps and fancy stuff, right? Beauties wasn't known for it, so the market began to vote with its feet and go elsewhere. So that was the first thing. So our business was growing and began a slow, steady decline. Second element, if you like, in our perfect storm was foot and mouth disease. Foot and mouth disease around the turn of the century, 2001, and the market dropped because the government told people don't go into the cities, you could spread this disease. Market dropped by 20%. That was a problem for us. Already declining and dropped 20%. Third was 9/11. Same time. Third was 9/11. 9/11 happened, right? And that kept us flat because the Americans never flew back into Shannon. Shannon, of course, is adjacent to Limerick City. So our business stayed flat. So for a whole period of about 18 months. And then in 2002, the final nail in our coffin was what I called in my book, the Feckin' Celtic Tiger. Right? Because the Feckin' Celtic Tiger was this madness that gripped the country and drove the paper value, not the real value, the paper value of the property through the roof. And our rent for a coffee shop on a pedestrian street in Limerick, which is Ireland's 3rd city, which was up to €1,000. 7 cups of coffee, but it was €1,000 a day. Yeah, how many cups of coffee do you have to sell to make €1,000 a day in rent? Forget about it. And that was just for the privilege of opening the door. I'm going to buy the rashers that they didn't want anymore. Right? So it was a problem. That's why we went out of business. That was our perfect storm. So the lesson, stuff outside your control can wipe you out. Fail early. Right? Because that's when I became a man. Yeah? I expected, nobody gets into business expecting to fail. The likelihood is it will. Deal with it and move on. Fair enough? Brian, do you concur? Okay. Lesson number 2, the man on the train. This is the happy part of the story. So business bottom, right? And I knew it was dying. Once the rent review hit, it was game over. It took us 3 years to exit. A huge cost every day. Rebranded from Beauties. I had the Beauties franchise. Rebranded from Beauties, gave them back their brand, saved us about 50 grand a year, but all that did was keep us alive for 50 more days in terms of rent, okay? Rebranded to Cruises Coffee Company, where the name came from, Cruises Street in Limerick, not particularly inventive, right? And we brought the brand Cruises Coffee Company to the Liffey Boardwalk. Do you know those kiosks on the Liffey Boardwalk? Hey, I'm going to start that, 2003, and we branded the Cruises Coffee Company, okay? That also didn't work, right? But because, it's a professional failure, right? But what happened was, I was living in Limerick, had exported the brand back to Dublin, and I was up and down regularly on the train. And I sat beside this guy on the train one morning, and I gave him my business card, as you do. You probably don't do business cards anymore, do you? No. You know what a business card is? Alright. It's changing words, right? Anyway, I gave this guy my business card, right? It was the Cruises Coffee Company business card, and there was a strap line on the back of it, which is on every business card I've had since, because there's gold in it. and it says, how can I help? This guy, never met him before, says, Colm, he says, what's that mean, how can I help? And I said, that's my offer to the universe. If you think of me, can be of any help, give me a call. He never rang me. I never even thought of it. 3 months later, his boss rang me. And his boss said, you met a guy on the train, did I? He did. And he said, he came back to Limerick and he said, if you're ever doing something in food, give this guy O'Brien a call. He's interesting. He says to me, do you want to tender for a pilot project for school lunches here in Limerick, a place called Moyross, very disadvantaged area? And I said, I do, thank you very much. We won the tender. Okay? What came out of that, 2003 to now? Sales for our first week in 2003, €160. Woohoo! We're out of the traps, right? Sales per week now, over $250,000 per week now. Was that a good meeting? Yeah. One of my favourite Limerickisms is you can chalk it down. That was a great meeting. But the great news, there's one for everybody in the audience. Absolutely guaranteed. It's my absolute belief there is a man on the train moment waiting out there, universe is put it out there. The only question is, will you turn up for it? Universe is waiting. Will you turn up for it? 2 criteria must apply. Number 1, I'm preaching to the choir here, you must be out there. You're here. The ones that can't benefit tonight aren't here. Okay? That's the first thing. So you've passed the first test. Second criteria, really important. My business was dying. I told you that, right? Gave your man my business card with the strapline, how can I help? Not will you buy from me? Not will you help a buddy out? Can we sell you coffee? No strings attached, how can I help? And that's the only reason why he gave my card to his boss. Does that make sense? If it was a sales pitch, I wouldn't stand here tonight. So those 2 criteria, if you honour that, turn up, and then turn up to serve. It'll make all the difference. So, network to be of service, that's lesson number 2. Hear me there, Manoj? Lesson number 3. What Yoda teaches us. Okay? Please, everybody, try to touch your head. Please try to touch your head. If you didn't touch your head, stand up. You didn't even try. Try to touch it. Let's go do it one more time. Try to stand up for it. Let's do this. Stand up, please. Okay, real quick. Okay, stand up and try to touch your head. Now, if you touch your head, sit down. Okay, if you only try to touch your head, stay down. Okay, everybody sit down. Okay, so you try to touch your head. Perfect. Okay, now try harder. Try harder. Try harder. All right. Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. Thank you for playing. So what Yoda teaches us is wonderful. Do or do not. There is no try. Do or do not. There is no try. Lesson number 3. Do or do not. There is no try. How can I help? This is the last piece. How can I help? I'll leave you with something if that's okay. Ian won the book. Happy days, Ian. Free audio book if you'd like it. It's yours truly reading this. Put you to sleep at night in a good way. Feel free to download colmobrinmotivation.com/freebie. And then I do a weekly Coffee with Colm vlog and a podcast. Because every single Sunday morning to an audience, not all my followers, but to groups totaling over 107k. I'm really excited about that. It's out there for you to check out. There's one I recommend. It's entitled Stop Selling and Start Serving. colmobrinmotivation.com/serve.
Again, guys, stand up. We're going to ask, we've got 5 minutes, so kind of like a panel thing. Are there any 2 questions for each of our speakers? Does anyone have a question?
You spoke
For both or
I think
for Brian? Okay.
you mentioned EO in Dublin or chapters. So is it only for entrepreneurs or EO to?
No, it's you. There's a threshold, isn't there, Brian? It's 10 million turnover.
Because your question, is it only for entrepreneurs or is it for entrepreneurs or?
Yes.
Is that your question?
Yeah, my question is that. Is it only for entrepreneurs with businesses?
It is, but there's a sister organisation called YPO, Young Presidents Organisation, which is for the hired hands. The EOs for the entrepreneur, YPO is for the presidents who are not necessarily the founders. But in EO you have to be the founder.
Any other
YPO
questions?
is the other.
One more question. Okay. Well, look, first of all, would you both agree, or would everybody agree that we've had some really exceptional speakers today? All right. You know, it's getting me to think in a creative